down from a lander that's braking about 4,000 miles per hour. Control mode call out there.
We are over halfway into this 11-minute burn.
Control mode call out there.
We are over
variability with recent landing measurement. By my count, we're just crossing about 6.
That means we're
GNC 175 acknowledged.
Another guidance navigation and control mode call out there.
We are over halfway into this 11-minute burn using the main engine on Athena.
AFM is in braking 2.
Braking, progressing through that PDI count.
150 seconds left in braking.
350 seconds left in braking, just crossing over the 6.5-minute mark since PDI powered descent initiation. This is one continuous burn from PDI all the way down to the surface.
VFM mode is DPOS only.
All right, we're still processing delta position. Those are camera measurements the lander is looking at and making decisions. One of those decisions will be using hazard detection to fly to an intended landing region and then autonomously make those decisions a safe site, whether that's safe from boulders or slopes. We'll hear those call-outs after we pitch over. You'll hear HEA, and that's what we're listening for to figure out where those hazards are and choose a new landing site.
Now over 7 minutes into the burn, this braking burn,
100 seconds left in braking.
specifically 300 seconds left, this braking burn,
Engine is still healthy.
and great confirmation about the engine itself. That engine is bringing
GNC
us
176 acknowledged.
from about 4,000 miles per hour to eventually a soft about 1 meter per second or about 3 feet per second landing.
Yeah, I'm catching a little jitters watching the viz here, so I think folks at home will be seeing the same thing. Remember, this is data being streamed down from a lander that's braking about 4,000 miles per hour, trying to feed that data back 250,000 miles away.
TAL is now at 5 EV.
Just to enjoy a little view.
8 minutes elapsed. Camera's now in braking 2 mode.
We are still inside PDI, braking 2 mode.
250 seconds left in braking.
So we cross over 8 minutes into this burn.
Again, about an 11-minute burn. We don't expect the engine to reach full 100% thrust. It's really a throttled approach. This engine is designed to continuously burn and throttle all the way from power descent initiation, which began 8 minutes and 30 seconds ago, through touchdown. This approach is very similar to what we saw for the Apollo descent modules as well.
And it makes a lot of sense. If you go in at 100%, you need a little more, there's nothing left to give, right? We want to come in nominally around 90% and then have a little bit of room to play if we need to increase the speed of which we're slowing down. You'll hear folks maybe call out the rate of acceleration, but in this case, for us, that's
9 minutes
deceleration.
elapsed.
Crossing over 9
200
minutes.
seconds left in braking.
Yes, just a couple of minutes left in the braking burn, so another look forward to that rapid succession of events that'll come immediately after braking is complete. We will see pitch over begin. We'll be using those 4 RCS, reaction control system thrusters, at the top of the spacecraft to reorient Athena before its a final approach, vertical descent, and terminal descent.
And all of those after PDI, Leah, that you just called out, we're expecting those to happen rapidly. We can kind of sit back and let flight controllers really get into what's happening. We'll take a few chances in
LOS
between
on calls.
to help. There's a LOS on one of the radio systems, again, expected as we get in towards our pitch over maneuver. Some jitters on the viz.
Sonic's still showing continue.
That's the second radio, so the first one,
The
the first one we heard a loss of
GNC
signal.
177 acknowledged.
The second was a confirmation that the second radio, we still have signal. So it's good signal, good data, good viz, and we're watching the show here along with the folks at home.
10 minutes into the burn, so expecting just about a minute more until the end of this braking maneuver.
We expect and plan for pitch over just about 2 kilometers away from the intended landing site. That gives Athena a little bit of time to pitch over and start looking forward using her navigation sensors to detect different hazards, as well as her altitude to lower down to the lunar surface at approximately 1 meters per second if all goes as planned. There's LOS as we approach our pitch over. All right, we're approaching 11 minutes of the burn. Local time is
AOS on
11:26.
Quasonics.
11 minutes in.
11 minutes in, we heard another call out that we're up on Quasonics. That's a radio system. It's 11:26 local. I'm looking at a pitch over time at 11:27 in about 52 seconds. So we are coming up over to the pitch over where we expect to have some loss of comms. Earlier we talked about multipath. That's very unique to the lunar South Pole, where our radio signals are using multiple ways to get to the same destination, whether that's from bouncing off the harsh terrain, some different polarity issues down there on the South Pole. We expect to have a weaker than normal signal, but we still want to make sure we get that confirmation. As part of that confirmation, we're going to safe the vehicle, figure out the status there, and then start working on pictures after everything's safe. Maybe around 2 hours after landing, we can cherish that photo.
LOS on Quasonics.
There's that loss of signal on one of the radio systems. We approach 12 minutes in TDI.
Again, the engine will continue to fire, albeit it will continue throttling down as we approach the lunar surface. And a reminder, the Viz is a simulation based on flight data, but if we do lose contact with the lander, which can be expected based on the conditions at the lunar South Pole, we will continue to see projected data on this visualization.
And we're approaching G as in ground to 2 minutes. We expect to drop this clock here in 2 minutes and take all of our commands from inside of Nova Control. The bottom right hand of your screen is Dr. Tim Crane, our co-founder and Chief Growth Officer, also sitting in as Mission Director for landing this IM-2 mission, standing by for the latest events. Wait 1.
Aquasonics AOS.
HRM, HCA, HCA2.
Thales AOS.
60 seconds left in braking.
60 seconds left in braking.
And approach. Landing site selected.
Engine and idle.
11 meters cross range. Divert. Freak-Sonics, LOS.
There's that loss of signal or pitch over. Stand by, see if we regain that signal. Remember, folks, the Viz that you're watching at home is an estimation of data. It's doing its best. That's a lot of data coming from really far away. All commands and all
Initiated
combinations
pre-divert.
come from our mission director at the bottom right hand.
Again, we are standing by, monitoring the Viz just as you are at home, along with Nova Control.
We are approaching approximately the time that we estimated Athena would touch down on the surface. We did hear a call out for Aquasonics LOS. That is our radio system, something we expect to happen in pitch over. That's prior to a vertical descent and terminal descent. That latest
Copy, we're
data
doing a signal.
is what you're seeing on the Viz. Why don't we go
We
ahead-
currently are getting our uplink through Hemi-2, and we have a healthy AGC value, so uplink is coming in strong for Thales. And then for our downlink, we have a strong EBNO at 17 on Green Hilly, and we are currently not seeing Aquasonics, so we are in Aquasonics LOS.
All right, that's a
So
quick
I'm seeing no strong on the spectrum for Thales. I'm not seeing our Freak-Sonics on our spectrum as of yet. FM, what mode are we in? Approach 17. This last we've seen.
All right, so that's up on one radio, and they do have a loss of signal already.
Friday, I'm looking at the Sense Excel. The Sense Excel reading. Let me look.
That's the mission director detecting sea.
I am seeing a Sense Excel 1G.
So that's the mission director Tim Crane trying to figure out what is the vehicle sensing. It has 2 inertial measurement units on board. You can think of those as your inner ear. So when he's asking what is the sensed acceleration, that's what he's asking for, is what is that inertial measurement, that inner ear detecting as far as accelerate.
Again, as we've mentioned, the Viz here is just an interpretation of landing.
Yeah, let's go ahead and stay on Nova Control. Looks like the Viz is hovering. We can't.
What are you seeing on the engine?
The engine is still in idle at min thrust. We are still seeing chamber pressure.
So we're getting good data. We heard that we have 1 radio up, 1 radio loss of signal. We just heard that we
I'm
have
seeing, guys, the solution for time to go is increasing, just indicating to me that the onboard nav state is not decreasing in altitude. The good news, the HRN laser is now ready to fire.
So we heard that we have 1 good radio sending down data, 1 that has loss of signal. We have prop.
Standing by with a manual command for landed ops.
Yep.
No recommendation this time.
Yep, we have prop telling us that we have good data. That was someone just commanding. We heard exec mode to go into this firing mode, and someone standing by to get into our landed ops mode. I'll wait for Dr. Crane to confirm here. But if we're pulling down data, we'll see how this goes. Looks like Tim's about ready to jump on the loop and sort out what we saw on the Viz versus what the folks inside of Mission Control are seeing on their monitor. It's a good reminder to this public channel that we're listening to here in the studio, Leah, and what people are listening to at home at the landing party at Lone Star Flight Museum.
All right, folks.